Hi, welcome to mediatorpodcast.com, a podcast and video series about mediation, negotiation, and collaboration. My name is Melissa Gragg, and I'm a valuation expert and mediator in St. Louis, Missouri. I actually specialize in divorce and partner disputes. But today we'll discuss divorce mediation and parenting plans or child custody with Michelle Weinberg. Michelle's a licensed marriage and family therapist with over 20 years of experience, but now focuses her practice specifically and solely on divorce mediation in New Jersey. In 2011, she co-founded Westfield Mediation with an attorney, Randy Albert, and she's also a member of the New Jersey Association of Professional Mediators and volunteers at several organizations in her spare time. We are so grateful and happy to have you, Michelle. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so a parenting plan, you're coming in and you're saying, okay, here's the specifics of our family. Here's the dynamics of our children. Here's the things that we have to do. Here are the ways that we work from home or don't. All of these specifics. But when it comes right down to it, there's not going to be like a template for the plan, right? We're not going to be like, oh, given all these parameters, you should exchange at Thursday at 3 p.m. and the one parent should drop off. So you're coming together and really just having a discussion for a decade or 2 decades into the future. What are the decisions we're going to make, and how are we going to make them now with some idea of what it looks like now? And so in some capacities, could you get your attorneys in the room, and could everybody get in the room? Sure. But really, a mediator is just introducing things like, okay, are you guys going to go to private school? Well, no, we like okay, well, what if somebody moves houses? Like, we're just creating scenarios where then they can talk like, okay, if this happens, what's going to be the result? And then you put it together in a document, and I think that even holidays, right? Like, you can talk a little bit about the logistics in the plan of like drop off, pick up, whose responsibility, because it gets granular if you want it. And if you have issues, you might want it granular.
Yes. So we, from the start, say that the parenting plan that works for you now with your 4-year-old is not going to work for your 14-year-old. You just have to realize that, and your job may change and their needs are going to change. So go into this with open eyes, but let's look at what's going to work for now. And then if you need to, okay, maybe you do need to know that the transition is going to be at school or daycare or childcare or with the nanny or, however, because you would like to limit the amount of interaction that the co-parents have with one another. And so a lot of times parents choose to do it that way. They are not directly interacting with each other often. And the transition will occur through a third party, either school or aftercare, or, whatever it may be. So I'll drop the child off at school. You'll pick them up at aftercare, and so it's not necessarily a time. It's sort of like a place, where that transition can happen. And then you have to come up with a summer plan too, if their summer plans are different, than their school year plans. And so you have to think about that as well. And with the holidays, we do try to map it out as much as we can. A lot of times people who are getting divorced and through mediation are getting along in some capacity and say, oh, well, we'll just work that out. And so it's my job to bring up the sticky issue of saying, I understand where you're coming from, and that may work for a little while. I'm envisioning 5 years from now, you each have new partners and they have children and they have their family tradition, and you want to make sure that you can coordinate your family into other family traditions as well. And if when your children are going to be with you, it's easier to do that. And so, I'm never getting married again is what I hear a lot of times. And, that doesn't always hold water. Oftentimes people do get remarried or have new partners. So I try to anticipate as much as possible their future. And sometimes they believe me and sometimes they don't. So it's up to them how they want to proceed. So we try to get them as specific as possible with also built-in flexibility, knowing that things will change down the road.
Well,